I set these stories up for myself months ago when I was recovering from emergency surgery, and I don't quite remember how loopy I was or what I picked, but I do know that if I picked it, it must be interesting. Hey, stranger, Elaine Aeris here. Let's talk about some cryptids. Let's talk about some encounters with some things that are a little bit creepy and we can't quite explain. Still trying to figure out what this may have been, whether cryptid or possibly something mythical? So me and 3 other friends went caving at night in Central Oregon. Pretty popular cave called Boyd Cave. How about we pull up a picture so we know what the heck we're talking about? Okay, so we have Boyd Cave. All right. So we have a stairwell going down. Looks like a cave. Got it. When we entered, we heard what sounded like something big breathing, and it reverberated through the entire cave. So I'm picturing like I don't know. It was like I'm picturing like smog snoring, a dragon snoring. I don't know what I'm picturing. Which is 2.5 miles in length to my knowledge. When we got to the back of the cave, though, the breathing stopped pretty abruptly and was never heard again. When we exited the cave, though, which we did pretty hastily, probably 1,000 feet in the distance, maybe further, there were 3 sets of eyes glowing on the peak of a hill as a cat's eyes do when hit with a flashlight. I think that's called eye shine. And would disappear when not shined on with light. Ooh, spooky. What was weird, though, was that they were probably 30 or 40 feet off the ground and spaced apart to where there would have been at least a foot or 2 between each eye in every set. There was a set to both the left and the right, and one set in the center that sat probably 5 feet or more above the other 2. So we have kind of this staggered thing happening with this eye shine. I went back there a day or 2 later, and there were no trees, vehicles, campers, etc. on the hill, just a blank hill. There was also no trail or road leading to the peak of this hill. Any ideas on what this may have been? Possibly 2 separate encounters with 2 separate things? You can only hope. Then you get 2 cryptid sightings in one night. For the price of 1, you get 2! Let's see what some people have to say about this. In the Pacific Northwest, there are things called dark watchers. That sounds cool. They are creatures that are shadowy with glowing eyes, can be spotted in groups. They can also cause hallucinations, which might explain the change in terrain, and they can technically cause sounds and hallucinations, but I have a scientific explanation. Okay, so there's these things, but here's a boring scientific explanation. Boyd Cave has lava chutes. They can cause a buildup of CO2 or SMTH. What the frick is that? Shaking my thoughtful head. What is SMTH? It's an abbreviation for something. Why? Just write something. I don't know exactly, but they can amplify sounds and sound like breathing. What is weird is the abrupt stop. Yes, I found that weird as well, as if, oh, you've interrupted my slumber. Now I'm awake to watch you. It could theoretically just be a coincidence, but I don't know. Okay, so intrigued by the Dark Watchers thing. I think we need to look that up.
The Dark Watchers. Spanish, los vigilantes oscuros. I'm trying. Are legendary 7 to 15 foot tall cloaked humanoid figures reported for centuries in California's Santa Lucia Mountains, particularly around Big Sur. Known for standing silently on ridges at dusk or dawn with wide-brimmed hats and staves, they're said to vanish when approached. They are a staple of California folklore, often interpreted as spiritual guardians, or in scientific terms, as Baroccan specters. Yeah, okay, they're a staple of California folklore, but I lived there for a bazillion years and I never heard of them.
We have a response to this comment. Dark Watchers are more associated with California's Central Coast and do not live in caves. Okay. When we get people Whenever people talk about creatures that are not scientifically confirmed, and then they start telling you exactly how these creatures are, it kind of sounds like people arguing about hobbits and elves. It kind of sounds like that. They don't live in caves, though, guys. Dark Watchers, spotted on ridge tops. They are benevolent creatures that protect travelers, according to lore. An optical illusion under the right conditions of sun position and fog is the accepted explanation. Nice story, though. Boyd Cave is a lava tube. Once again, we have the lava chute explanation. Many are in the area, ranging all the way south to northeast California. Sometimes wind blowing across the entrance produces weird noises or a huffing sound. I wonder if I can find that for reference. I want to know what that sounds like. Scary experience. I've never heard of anything like this. Scared emoji, shocked emoji. Me neither. It didn't seem super malevolent or anything, just more observant. So I'm more just curious as to what it was rather than freaked out. Okay, good for you. Maybe because you're no longer there right now, that's why you feel that way. And I've had quite a bit of time to think about it. This was at least 4 or 5 years ago. Okay. What came to mind initially was something akin to Cerberus, but that could just be that he's one of my all-time favorite mythical creatures. Cerberus is dope. Cerberus is dope. The Hounds of Hell, dope. 3-headed hellhound, dope. I think it has 3 heads. That's wild. Could it have been a pack of coyotes standing on a hill? Nah, they're just too high off the ground. Okay, so that was interesting, guys. What do you think it was? You never know, though. If you're not there to experience it, it's hard to say what OP saw. It's a fun story, though. Let's talk about a creature in Michigan. Unexplainable, at least for me, encounter. I'm currently located in northern Michigan, staying with a friend. I sleep in an old school bus that my buddy turned into a camper somewhat. It's kind of cool. It ain't fancy, but there's places to sleep. Long story short, I love when people just write the way they talk, so you can just hear them speaking through their words. This morning around 5 a.m., we both heard loud, heavy footsteps outside the bus. It woke me wide awake. I'm a heavier guy, and even my footsteps don't sound like that on the ground out there. I hear the footsteps, and they come to the door of the bus. I then hear sniffing, very loud sniffing, and then I heard whatever this thing was try to with the door. No, thank you. No, thank you. At this point, I'm panicking, so I grab my phone, turn on my flashlight, and shine that fucker at the door. This reminds me of, okay, so my son and I right now, we're playing Survive Bikini Bottom on Roblox, and there's this sea bear that's terrifying. And sometimes if you end up out of your base at nighttime, you start running back to get to the safety of your base, and that sucker will chase you all the way back, and you can shine a flashlight on him just to temporarily stun him, but you better believe that in a couple seconds he'll be right on your tail again. And that guy has killed me several times. Dang sea bear. After I shined my light, it stopped messing with the door. Hindsight would have been better if I had a video rolling, because then I'd be able to get a look at it. Also, you would have receipts. You'd be able to show us. But what makes this so weird is after I shined my light, I heard whatever it was move back toward the end of the bus, and I hear a fucking tiny cat's meow. So he shines his light at this giant sniffing creature, and he just gets this like, meow. The meow was so light, like there's no way that a stray cat made them heavy-ass footsteps. It sounded like one pair of steps, too. Not like something walking on all fours. Okay, that's creepy. So you hear what sounds like a humanoid heavy creature walking up to your camper. You hear sniffing, and then you shine your light, and you get a mew? That's weird. And then he says, sorry for the book, just wanted to share this because I don't think it was a bear or a deer, unless it was a sea bear. I really have no explanation what this thing could have been beside a cryptid of some sort. I love this stuff. People have these cool experiences out there. Makes you just want to be out in the wild and see what you find. And we have the comment here, probably some bored hillbilly. And then I like this response because this person is essentially calling themselves a bored hillbilly with the word we. It couldn't be. We don't have reflective eyes, only in photos, but our eyes are red. Anyway. Someone's pointing out there's moose in northern Michigan. And then OP says, as far down as Kalkaska. The Kalkaska area has bears, bobcats, and a buttload of deer. Okay, whenever someone says buttload, I picture whatever thing they're describing coming out of their butt. Why do people keep saying buttload? No moose, as far as I know. The coyotes in northern Michigan are also pretty massive. Pretty sure they have wolf blood in them. Plus catbirds and stray cats. What the heck is a catbird? What's a catbird? It sounds like it's a real creature. A bear with an actual kitten nearby or a gray catbird. Catbirds are out at night and have tricked us into thinking there was a kitten outside. We have black bears around too. Now I need to look up a catbird. What is this? I want to learn about a catbird today. Catbird. Catbird meowing like a cat. Let's hear that. Does it sound like a cat to you? I don't know if that really sounds like a cat to me, but maybe if I was sitting there in the darkness and I heard a sudden sound, I would relate it to a meow. Gray catbird. I feel like this guy's cute. Look at that little guy. Look at that little cutie. Look at that. I just thumbs up that. That was so cute. So interesting. I mean, as fun as a catbird is, I don't know that that explains the rest of the encounter. Not saying this is true, but my mind went to the Wendigo. Oh, I really need to look into the Wendigo. I'm so fascinated by the Wendigo. An ancient creature in Indian lore. It is said they can mimic what they last killed to lure their prey to them to kill. Ooh, mimic. That is so creepy. So I have no idea what this creature was or what this person experienced. Okay, this next encounter, it involves spooky whistling. Spooky whistling, okay? I remember this one now. Okay, let's read. What creature did I encounter? Hi everyone, my mom had an encounter with something the other night, but I can't figure out what it was. It doesn't seem to match any cryptids. It was 11:45-ish, so right on the edge of witching hour here. And my mom let my dog out and she ran to the back corner of her yard. The corner of our yard is shared with 3 garages, so we assumed an animal was back there. So we got the dog. The dog is taken off on a mission to find something. As she was going crazy, my mom was calling her and she wasn't listening. So she whistled for her to come. My dog finally turned to come to my mom, and when she turned around, a whistle exactly like my mom's, she's not a good whistler and it was weak like hers is, came from the corner trying to call her back. So the dog runs out, goes crazy, mom whistles, and then something from within the darkness whistles back, mimicking the whistle that we just heard the mom do. Ew. Troy, another Michigan sighting. I live 15 minutes outside of Detroit, so that rules out a lot as far as I'm aware. Any ideas what this could be? I'm not sure how to handle it, and I'm trying to stay calm about it. Haha, thanks. Creepy. May not have been a creature, may have been a person. Ugh. I'm hoping that's what it was. Are you hoping that's what it was? Although the thought of a person squeezing themselves behind their garage to whistle for my dog is almost equally unsettling. Lol. Agreed. Could have been to lure your dog away, knowing one of you would go get your dog. Ugh, creepy. Let me have this random comment from a deleted user. I think you know that's not true. It was a cryptid, I'm sure. The government fixers try to create. On my reservation, we'd be taught as children to never ever whistle at night. Something about the fact that they're describing a reservation, and we're talking about indigenous folks who are way more in tune to nature and spirituality than a lot of us modern lay people who are more in tune to technology. Something about that is a little more eerie. Something about someone saying, on my reservation, we were taught never to whistle at night. That's a little eerie. Hi there, I'm a Pucalo. Oh, AKA a professional whistler. I'm a Pucalo. What is a professional whistler is a thing, apparently. There is a job for everything. There is a job for everything. I saw this Instagram reel the other day, and it was like something along the lines of, this is your sign for you and your bestie to quit your day job and teach drunk adults to do water aerobics in the Caribbean or something like that. I was like, there is a job for everything. It was playing Gangnam Style, and this person was teaching drunk adults to dance in the pool. Everything can be a job, I suppose. Follow your dreams, guys. We have a professional whistler. I hear so many interesting anecdotes about whistling, but I've never heard about this. I'd be so appreciative if you could please tell me more about the lore of why you were taught this as children. I have so many questions, lol. We have someone else coming in. I wasn't raised on a reservation, but my papa is native, and he, as well as the non-native families in my hometown on the very southern tip of I think that's is it Appalachia? Is that supposed to be Appalachia? I'll say the same thing. You might be calling something you don't want to call. That something is loads of different things to loads of different people. Evil spirits, skinwalkers, Bigfoot, bears, snakes, wild people. But we all know there could be something who thinks we want it to follow us back home. You don't whistle because you don't want something to whistle back. So it sounds like the mom does not think it was another person, because they would have had to be standing behind their garage, which is about 18 inches from the fence. People are saying a mimic, crawler. People keep talking. I need to look into these cryptids, man. Either a person was back there or it was a mimic. Here we go again with the mimic. What's a mimic? Someone says mimic. Ah, what is that? Ooh. I don't know, guys. We have a story within a story. I love a story within a story. Last autumn winter, I was letting our dog out to potty with my mom around 2 or 3 a.m. For context, we live in the middle of nowhere. Yes, the tail end of Appalachia. My family has lived in this area for generations, and we're all well accustomed to the local wildlife. There's nothing we haven't seen or heard at least a dozen times. We also have no neighbors under the age of 45 in the immediate area around my house, and definitely none prone to being out and about at this hour. I was standing in the yard with my mom, watching the dog sniff around, finding a place to do her duty. We'd been out for maybe 10 minutes, talking quietly as to not distract the dog. From the road, we hear a sharp, short, human whistle, like the first note of a wolf whistle. Thing is, I can see the road clearly. It's a bright night. The moon is out. We also have a bright motion activated light that shines across the yard. No one is there unless they're squatting in the ditch. Outside of my view is the yard and road aren't level with each other. It's a possibility, I admit, but I hadn't seen anyone or anything when we first came out, and I always make sure to scout out our surroundings each time because remember, this is the middle of nowhere. It's not unusual to see a coyote or a skunk wandering in the yard. I don't wish to tangle with either. And what I don't see, our outdoor dog, he protects the chickens, Will, and would bark about it. He was silent. I lock eyes with my mom and tell her we're going inside. Now, I don't ever tell my mom to do anything, but I surely did that. Thank you for clarifying that. You don't tell your mom to do anything. You are not her boss, but in this moment you are. Any person wandering around at that hour whistling at people has no good intentions. They clearly weren't afraid to let us know they were there. That's probably the scariest part. This being is not afraid to let you know they're there. I mean, I don't know what kind of mental state you're in if you're not scared to whistle from the dark. People have weapons, guys. And depending on where you are geographically, some people shoot first and ask questions later. I'm sorry, you better watch out if you're whistling at people in the dark. You're not alone on weird encounters. I don't have any advice to offer other than don't be out at night if possible, and definitely don't whistle at night. Sometimes something will answer. Ooh, okay. That was fun. That was fun. I had fun, guys. Did we learn anything today? Did we learn about what not to do? Don't whistle at night. Apparently, don't whistle at night. And also, if you ever get that feeling that you're being watched, you probably are. So, you feel that eerie eyes upon you sensation, and you cannot identify where those eyes are coming from necessarily, I think it's probably time to run. 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 Yikes. So that was fun. Thank you for joining me. What is this? This is going to be the first episode of my Scary Things You See from the Corner of Your Eye series. And if I find that people enjoy this, I'll keep going. I love hearing about the stuff we can't explain. I love hearing about people's experiences. I mean, I've had my own, not with cryptids and not with sightings. I have had a haunted apartment. Maybe I'll get into that someday. But I'm fascinated by this stuff because I know for a fact, whatever you think about existence, whatever you think, me, personally, I've seen enough proof to know there's more to this world than meets the eye. Like and subscribe for more fun, spooky stories, and see you next weekend. Bye-bye.